To start off with recapping what I talked in my last review. So, this is a NPR article that was posted 5 hours ago on Facebook. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's efforts to expand fast track deportation regulations for undocumented immigrants without the use of immigration courts. The headline is just simply federal judge blocks Trump move to fast track deportations. What I wanted to focus on was this thread that had started from my reply to that article. I said, what part of right to seek asylum and right to a trial do they not understand? This administration is stepping on the very fabric of our justice and freedom for all country. One of the very first replies that I got was from Nathan Dixon, who said, "You know Obama deported more immigrants than any other president, right?" He does a little face. I just put angry, but down here is where I reply to it. So this is really before I see any other replies. At this point, I didn't realize there were so many conversations happening. But so I posted, I'd say about 2 minutes after I read that first comment, I said, what I know is that the United States wasn't committing human rights violations to extremes as this administration has allowed. We weren't taking children from their mothers and locking them in with 20 other children and not bathing them for weeks. I am ashamed for you to value your loyalty to this dictator, TM, instead of this country. I am a United States citizen and patriot, and our president has committed treason and ruined relationships with our world allies. You are a traitor for your loyalty to that man. It's pretty harsh words to call somebody a traitor. Like, the same people that fly the Southern flag, I call it Southern because it was the Confederate flag. It was a party of traitors that went against who the president was, Abraham Lincoln, and no longer wanted to be controlled by the northern states' more industrial ideas. Like, the South was all about agriculture and keeping slaves. So, yeah, that's what the debate is about. Like, when you have a Confederate flag, are you supporting that horrible time in our history? Anyway, so what I wanted to bring up was that I had some likes, right? So here's somebody that loved my thing. There was him and her, and Jeff McKellar. So I'm just showing the first part of his profile, but he sent me a message and he added me as a friend. So he did a wave, and I say, hey, what's up? Because I don't know why he's messaging me, if he's trying to argue with me or he said that he loved my thing. So what he wanted to tell me was theft of children still goes on via CPS. Interesting how they can leave some kids in with the most vile situations and take others from parents that are good but struggling. So what I think Mr. Jeff was trying to say is that CPS demonizes parents. They think of anything that goes wrong, that a parent does wrong, and will come in and take your children and make you spend a ton of money in order to get your children back. So I dealt with this bias. So I wanted to go ahead and read my response to him because I think it's important to know where I'm coming from when I say the next few things. I was just doing a little plug. If you're seeing this video, but you didn't see my other review video when I went through that whole thread that I had started, it's 169 people have participated in it, and the amount of people that are still replying, even after I made that video, I still have another 45 minutes to go through comments if I want. But anyway, if you want to see that video, I posted a link for him to kind of review, since he's kind of in it. I said, I noticed you loved my reply. You might be interested in my review of the whole thread. So this is now where I'm going to start explaining my reply to his bit about CPS. Also, I have a personal connection with child social work, foster homes, parents losing children, the effects it has on kids. I studied 15 weeks of CASA. That is court-appointed special advocates for children. I was in early life development and pre-K through third grade education. I was sworn in front of a judge to report crimes against children. I held beliefs. That was a typo. But that first part was just saying that this is my credentials for how much I am affected by these children that are in the system. Immigrant children, citizen children, whoever that has to go through this system. I've been in the thick of it. I've had to talk to boys that weren't going to see their real parents for months as they complete their court-appointed requirements in order to get their kids back. And they were drug users. So yeah, these parents are down on their luck. They have addictions. They owe tons of money. It doesn't necessarily make them bad parents. What makes them bad parents is they have neglected their child to a certain point that CPS was called. And caseworkers get a lot of shit because, yes, a lot of people believe that CPS, Child Protective Services, is there to just separate families. And no, they are real men and women, mostly women, that have either been touched in some way by the system, the crisis that we have. Like, I personally, I had to stay with a foster parent while my mother was in prison. And I was too young to remember those years, but my brother wasn't, and my brothers. So we have a lot of mental health problems in our family because of what the system essentially did. So I wanted to bring my opinions, my personality, my hobbies. I wanted to be a face, an alternative face to who you usually see in CPS. I want to be a social worker, so I'm going back to school is not an option for me while I owe money to the loans for being in school. So, anyway, like, I'm very entangled in the issues when it comes with children, the atrocities that they live through. Anyway, this administration has exponentially increased the workload for border counties. Children taken from their guardians at the border. And Trump supporters believe that they should have known this is what would have happened if they crossed the border. There was no way for these refugees to get news while they were trekking across thousands of miles of wilderness. So, I wanted to address that when these parents bring their kids to this like very dangerous journey, that should be testament to how desperate they are for asylum in this country. They should not be seen as